to the latest live stream, the Indie Bants live stream with Joe and Jimmy. I am Jimmy, and with me is Joe.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to wave and say hello because that works better for
You just got to
video
do the
and
wave.
audio. Just equal
You got to keep the
opportunities. And
podcast listeners have to be in suspense the entire time if the other person is even there.
well, that might be a case. Actually, I'll start now because I had to tell you before we went live, but I do have a potential delivery arriving,
Okay.
and they're not telling me exactly where they are. It's a different delivery company, so they're not the ones where they tell you exactly where the driver is and how many stops away they are, which is always nice and helpful. I do appreciate that, though they always seem to just nash off for like an hour before they get to mine. It's always like, he's 2 stops away. And then it goes, oh, he's got some other deliveries to do. I'm like, the fuck? I was about to
Maybe
head out and then I didn't because you were 2 doors away and now you're not here. And then
there's
then they
there's
get a cob on
plenty.
because I don't pick my phone up because I'm usually like working or doing something. Like I called you. I'm like, I was working. Just ring the bell. They're like, well, we're not going to attempt delivery if you don't pick up your phone. I'm like, I was in a call. I was in a meeting. Anyway,
Yeah.
so it's a different delivery company that doesn't give you the live tracking and then gets really salty if you don't pick up your phone, which I get. It's like it helps them do their job easier, but I'm also at home usually working, so there's not much I can do for you there, mate. Just deliver me shit and then just get on your way. Or give it to the neighbours. They're all very nice. Like,
Joe's had this issue on it. He's just getting it off his chest. Everyone,
oh,
don't worry about
needed
it.
to. No, because we've moved at the house and we've been getting a lot of stuff delivered, and the streets are fucking nightmare to
Apparently, you
drive down
haven't.
anyway. No, I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking raging about it, but
I think there's
but
like
it's
a
gonna happen.
stop off in Allara where they're just like, oh, there's like a really nice bar restaurant that whenever they get the chance, they're like, oh, we'll go there. We're dropping off in there. We'll pop in, have a
Ah,
cheeky afternoon beer before we deliver to this English fella up the road who just
I
yells at us the entire time.
don't even yell at them. I'm always really lovely. Actually, I always ask them if they, how they're doing, and then as they leave, I'm always like, have a lovely day, and they're like, no hablo inglés. I'm like,
And then you yell it louder at them as if that'll help them
and
make them
more
understand.
slowly. Before we get into it, the last was telling us a story on there. Or she was getting the train home from work, and she said there was for context, the last is French, and there was some other French people on the train, and they were talking, and there was some French Canadians, and throughout apparently the entire conversation, these French people were talking to the French Canadians like they were idiots and didn't understand them. They're like, do you know Park Asterix? It's a theme park outside of Paris. You know, Asterix, and doing like the imitating of his like the feathers on the helmet. That they're like, yeah, we know what Asterix is. Like we're French Canadian. We haven't lived under a rock for like 50 years. We know what Franco Belgian comics are. Watch that series, by the way, the Asterix one on
I thought it
Netflix.
was really good.
Really good, yeah. We really enjoyed it. Watched it in
Yeah.
French as well. All the names are different. It's very confusing, but they're all word
Yeah.
plays as well. And I'm like,
Yeah.
which one's he? Because until you see them, like it's assumed you know who the characters are and what their
Yeah.
names are. But obviously the dog's not called Dogmatics in French. It's called
Yeah.
idée fixe, which is very good because it's like a fixed
It is, yeah.
idea, like dogma.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
wordplay
Yeah.
works as well, which is genius.
Which
Actually,
is
the
like
English one's better because it has the word dog in it. It's
the fact that like it does work across the two languages is really good. But I thought like even just from an aesthetic perspective, that was
looked
one of
great.
the nicest looking animations I've seen when they were like in the forest and whatnot, and when they were like the magic potion and like this
Yeah.
the
And that
visuals on it
effect
were
when they
really
took the elixir and
yeah.
that
It
kind of
was
crap,
really,
really good.
really good. So
Yeah.
hopefully they're gonna come out with more of that because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's a great fun, great little
Hmm.
series to watch. This is the podcast where we talk about everything but indie games.
Yeah. Talk
No,
about
it's
Joe's recent issues with delivery drivers, which are ongoing. So that'll be an ongoing part of our
ongoing and
series.
almost
Yeah,
permanent.
yeah, and then
Ne-
just TV shows we're watching as well. So
never ending issues with with the bloody delivery companies and crack on. It is what it is. It's a useful up here to have kind of like deliveries when you're working from home and stuff.
hmm.
It's as you know, you're not in a massive metropolis either, are you? I don't know what the
Nope.
delivery services are like around there.
Oh, really good. Yeah, we can't fault them.
Yeah. So I mean, I can fault them and have done, but no. It's just the phone thing that does me dial in. Just like
Yeah.
for
Oh,
God's
we've had
sake,
like
just let us not pick up the phone. Like attempt
yeah,
delivery. I
just
ordered
deliver it
it.
anyway. Yeah,
Just attempt to deliver it. You're probably going past here anyway. Like especially our
yeah.
gaff, it's like kind of like the road out of town, so they've
Right.
got to go past here anyway to like head somewhere else.
We've
So just give it a go.
we've had like situations like it took us by surprise the first couple of times it happened, but like we live in a small village And oh, well, they call it a market town, but I think that's a bit ambitious. It's a village, and like we've had situations where the delivery people will just open our front door and pop the stuff inside the front door, and then close the door if we don't go downstairs to like answer the door. So the first couple of times we're like, that feels a bit weird, but then it just turns out, I don't know, because like everyone kind of knows everybody and it's so friendly around here. People are just like, I'll just pop it in the door for them. It was
Yeah, I don't think that
it's
would. I
quite
don't
nice to
think there'd
have
be an
that.
issue here if they just left in. But we don't have like a. You have a double set of doors, don't you? So it's a front door and then like a. I don't know what you call that. There's a
I
second
don't
door,
know.
so it feels
Yeah.
like less intrusive. Whereas ours, it's like
Yeah.
straight into the end, like the entryway. There's not a second door. You're into a room, and it'd be like,
Comes in, uses the bathroom. Mate, just dropping a
who was it?
package off.
Who was it telling us about that? Was it? Was it Dom talking about like letting a brickie or a delivery guy use his bog and he absolutely destroyed it? Did you not hear this story? The guy was
No.
like, "Oh, mate, I've been delivering all day. Is it okay if I use your toilet?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, go for it, mate." Didn't realize for what purpose he was using.
Oh
And
no.
he was like, he was in there for ages, and he absolutely left it.
Oh.
I mean, when you gotta go, you gotta go. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you feel
Bless him.
bad for the guy. Like he would have been sitting stewing on that for ages. Like, oh, I don't want to
Oh, it
do
would
it,
have
but
been.
I have to do
It
it.
would have been fermenting.
Oh, the level of desperation you have to get to work up to asking one of the people you've delivered the house to, can
Oh,
I
you've got to
drop
be at your limit, don't you? Bless
absolutely?
him.
Yeah, you would have been.
Oh, oh, bless him. Should we maybe talk about indie games instead of bodily
Go on, then
function?
we'll talk about some indie
Ah,
games.
right. Because I think you're like me. Other than well, recently we've just been the only thing I've got a moment to play was some Valheim with yourself,
Same
and
here. Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
a
I tell
bit
you
of
what,
Rocket
no,
League with
no, no,
Dom.
no, no,
You
no.
played
I've
something
played
else?
something else. I've just
Ah,
realized I played something else. I jumped in. I don't know if it's an indie game. Let me just double check.
all right. Well, I'll
Let me just
update that the farm is being rebuilt in Valheim after the boars, and we said last time that we were
Oh,
getting
yeah, we
into a
are.
good loop of actually adventuring, which has pulled us right back into the crafting loop, hasn't it? Because we basically went out and got some stuff that gave us new crafting options, and now we're kind of running a small factory of like crafting
Oh,
stuff,
yeah,
isn't it?
we
So
are.
it's like
I mean,
it's to and from. So I think we're getting like you have these two like simultaneous gameplay loops. Well, not simultaneously, parallel. I think would be fairer way to describe it. Where you obviously you have the adventuring, you go out and get all this stuff, but then the only issue with me, and it's not a huge issue, not like the delivery guys. I'm still on the delivery guys, but there's this. The issue is I think you get looped into either one, like you kind of get trapped in them. You get trapped in the adventure loop for a bit, and you don't build anything, and you forget about building and crafting, and then you get trapped in the crafting loop where you just don't
yeah,
leave your base, and you spend so much time like focusing on things you can make and gathering resources that you don't go out and I mean like immediate resources, not the cool ones that you go like pillaging dungeons and stuff. But again,
yeah.
it's I think we're still having some good fun with it, and the boar
I'm
farm
enjoying
is
it.
back on the go, isn't it?
It's nice to be able to build some new stuff. We've just been upgrading and repairing the same equipment for a long time now. It's nice to like open up at least another like tech tree of things that we can actually
Yes,
build.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's good. But
that's been good.
you said you had another
I've
game.
just checked. Right, yeah. So I don't fully know if they're independent. Don't get at me, but it's Orok Digital, um, who have made a 40K game called Bolt Gun, which is I'll get it up on screen, and I'll firstly turn the volume down so I don't deafen myself. Um, but it is a lot of fun. So and 50% off, right, or up to 90%. What? No, never mind. That's a different thing. Um, but yeah, so this is it.
They've got that IP going everywhere now, don't they? There's like Games Workshop or who go just by Warhammer now, don't they? Or is it Games Workshop?
It's
It's like
Games Workshop, the company, but the
shops are
brand of
Warhammer.
the shops is Warhammer. But yeah, it's like a proper like throwback to 90s shooters like Doom and Quake and things like that. And it's just a lot of fun. It's very tongue in cheek. It's very like there's comedic side to it. Pixelated kind of look to it, and yeah, it's just one of those like
Was this a free crack on? Was this given
it's
away for
not
on Epic?
free.
Are you
Well,
sure?
it
Hold
might
on.
have been. Sorry, it could have been given away on Epic. Yes. Actually, you know what?
Is
Did
that why
we
you got it,
get
or
it?
did you buy it? Because I feel like I've got this game.
No, you know what? I think you're right. I think I did. I think I did get it free on.
Was it one of the free Epic games?
It was free on PS Plus.
PS Plus, yes.
That's where
That's
I
where
got
I've got it. That's where I've got it. Yeah. I've got this as well.
Yeah.
It's this month's free
So
game on PS Plus, right?
yeah. So like, it's just a lot of fun. It's charge around, get the weapons.
Yeah, it's
destroy
got these
things
like
with
mega kill
chainsaws.
things, hasn't it? It's,
You can do silly taunts and stuff like that. Like
which gives you more beans, right? Like
yeah, and it's just
yes, it was this
shoot
month's
the
free
bad
game
guys
on
thing.
PS Plus.
And it's I'm having a lot of fun with that. That's the good thing about this, which I don't have any other game that does this, is I can jump in and play for like 15-20 minutes and then come off it. Every other one of my games is like you have to sit down for a couple hours to really get something out of it. So it's nice to have a game like this. So I've been playing this as well as Valheim, but I mean, when I say I've been playing it, I think I've literally logged maybe an hour in the last 2 weeks. It's just
but over like 3 or 4 sessions, which is always nice. But you need like without games like this, sometimes I don't feel I get to play like any games at all. This is why, like, you know,
because you got to like sit there and be like, oh, do I really want to sit down for the next couple hours and do this, or do I have the time to do it? But this, I go, I'll just chuck it on during a break and I'll play a level and then come off.
That was it.
But yeah, so yeah, I've been playing that as well as Valheim.
Smaller studio. I think I was looking up. Yeah, they've got about 60 employees. They do have a parent group, which they got
publishing.
in 2021. But it's definitely on the it's under the ownership of Sumo Group, which is under the ownership of Tencent. I don't know how you break all this down. Companies owned by companies owned by companies owned by companies.
I don't know.
Turtles all the way down.
If that is an indie game, then I've been playing that as well. It's difficult to tell these days what is and what isn't when you've got, as you say, like someone owns somebody who gets a small studio to do the game, but it's published under a much larger company. It's like, but is the developer indie? Yes, I think maybe they are. So is it an indie?
That's it, like the indie in the sense, again, don't fucking come after us for this, but indie in the sense of smaller and more artisanal, I guess would be the way to put it. Really, I think we kind of use indie as shorthand for what's it called? Boutique, maybe more boutique and artisanal game development, not entirely in the original sense of that it was independent from, because everything like we've seen is so like intermingled and interwoven that it's impossible to tell like who's what and who's funding what and who, you know, until you see how much like the parent companies get of this, or is this thing like something they're allowed to sit and do on their own, or, you know, if they said, we're here if you need us, but actually you've got full like creative control, or, you know, we've used the parent company to get the license from Games Workshop. Who knows? But it's got good enough indie vibes, I think. You know, going with a retro look. You know, a retro looking game. It's already very indie in its sense. I mean, not that AAA's can't do retro, but they tend not to, because they're in this arms race for graphical fidelity and scope, and you know, it tends to, you know, not to be something they even bother touching. You know, where like something with retro aesthetics, so it feels
more indie.
Yeah,
I feel like,
and if it's not, it's still good, right? We're not here to like hate on larger production.
No, we're just celebrating the smaller ones. But like, if it's not AAA, it feels like I'm okay. I know, you know, we are trying to prioritize indie, but if it's not AAA, I feel like that's who we want to be celebrating. Like the AAA have got the budget, they've got the ability to do it, and like we want to be celebrating the games outside that world. So that's why we pick indie. And that for me, indie is like, it's the one-man bands all the way up to studios that are publishing independently, even if they are larger studios.
Yeah. Well, before we move on to some of the like community games, since like I said, I haven't played much. I played some Valheim and Rocket League in the last 2 weeks, and they are like literally the only two things I've had a chance to get on and play. But I have been keeping an eye out in the community, and you have as well, looking out for great looking games that we've got. But before we mention them, I do want not necessarily a shout out, but someone in the community was nice enough to send us a DM on X and just ask before they post anything if we had any posting guidelines on stuff like Trailer Tuesday, Wishlist Wednesday, Screenshot Saturday, etc. And I was like, oh, it's very nice of them to ask before they post, because most people just post, and
Yeah.
a lot of people get it wrong is probably a bit strong, but probably don't post in the most effective way
Yes.
possible. What I might add straight off the bat is, if you are replying to these kind of threads on social media like we host and have done for years, and I'll not get into why we host them and why we do them in a certain way, but what I might add is, don't just copy and paste the same tweet or share the same tweet, because that often gets flagged up as spam. There's a whole thing at the bottom, if you go through these threads, when we go through them, it says this reply is hidden because it's spam, or it's suspected spam, and it's probably because you went and thrown this on 10 or 20 of these other tweet threads and post threads, whatever we want to call them now, and the platform is obviously like, a lot of identical posts in a short amount of time. This stinks of spam, even though weird that it catches that and not all the nonsense we get in our DMs from people who aren't indie devs and stuff like that. Anyway, what I would say, and I don't even care if it's one of ours, but just pick a handful, pick the right full of the right selection of these tweet threads, post threads, whatever you want to call them. Be selective with them, instead of just shotgunning your posts all over every single one of them on one of these given days. Find the platform, and again, feelings won't be hurt if you choose it's not going to be us and there's another community or account that you feel would be better for your game or project, but post and make it a good one. Like, read what they're asking for. We used to actually have guidelines on the posts, and they got ignored so wildly that I just stopped bothering. But we did used to say do this, this, and this, and that'll be the best way for your posts to be seen. But I would recommend bit quick do's and don'ts. Don't thank the person for hosting. We're going to do this every week until there's a reason not to doing it. So don't thank us for hosting Trailer Tuesday. We don't need the thanks. The participation's enough. So don't waste any of your, you've got a very short message, especially on X and the platforms, these things. You've got a short amount of time to get someone's attention on your indie game. So don't make the first line, "Thanks for hosting, by the way, guys."
Yeah.
Because that's just putting another dozen or so words in front of your potential players. Just get in the game. If someone says share the screenshot of your game for Screenshot Saturday, ideally maybe share a screenshot as well. We get a lot of this we've made a Screenshot Saturday post and we've just shared it with you. Not even the post, we've just linked back to the post, and you're putting infinite number of clicks between the player. Get the post there, get the link in, show the Screenshot Saturdays for that, for the visuals. Trailer Tuesdays there for videos if you want. Wishlist Wednesday is a good idea to maybe have the actual thumbnail for your Steam page, so people go and wishlist it, and just get straight to it. No faffing about, no thanking us. Just tell people about the games. That's what the people who are going to look through these threads will want to see, and also get involved with them yourself. We've said this for 6-7 years now. Get involved with them. Don't just post your crap and leave. You've got to get involved, because if no one does, then it's like you're shouting into an empty room. Instead, get engaged, look at other people's games. We've seen some really good interaction recently, actually, that I'd like to commend. There are people where our notifications or someone going, "That game looks great, I went and wishlisted it."
Maybe some people are listening.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, it was nice for someone to ask about the potential guidelines. I'm like, just focus on your games. That's what these threads are for. Focus on the games, no fluff. Don't do a spammy post that you've posted in 20 other places on the same day. Create a unique one that gives the, even if it's not us, gives the people what they're asking for. If someone says post screenshots of your recent updates, post screenshots of your recent updates. This isn't just here's a free ad for me game. Thoughtful posting helps it stand out.
Of course it does, and so does the interaction. Not only if you interacting with another person's game is going to get visibility on your game from that person. If everyone just joins in and is just screaming about their game, no one's paying any attention to anyone else's game. It kind of doesn't work very well. And just posting for the sake of posting is a waste of your time. So put it on there, get engaged, and start building a bit of awareness say that engagement will directly correspond to more awareness of your game as well. So it's
Yeah.
not just
People like, who's this guy who said my game looked good? Oh, they've got
I'll check out their game. Maybe you have a conversation with them. Maybe let's help promote each other's game. Maybe you can start working out ways to collaborate with these people. Like that's how it starts. You can't everyone just be putting it on there and hoping that everyone else on that thread or everyone who looks at it and sees it, with which there will probably be a few thousand people, will be, oh, they'll look at my game amongst the 300 of them that have been posted in this thread. Like it's just not going to happen.
It is. It's a sad state of affairs when people get it wrong, because there is so much potential for these to do really well, but it is it's like a crowded like marketplace, both like metaphorically and literally, where everyone's just a vendor, and it's like, yes, the only way.
Imagine being someone who's checking that thread out, using that analogy. Imagine someone who's entering the marketplace who isn't one of the developers, who's looking to buy something and just walks into a marketplace where everyone's screaming at the top of their lungs and no one, you're like, you'd just leave, wouldn't you? Be like, I'm not going in there. That's way too busy. I had no idea what these people are talking about.
Yeah.
You just go and leave. Like, it's just not conducive to the outcome that you're looking for from it. It's much better for everybody to get properly involved in it. It makes a lot more sense and it's beneficial for everyone. So
yeah,
hopefully that's what happens. I mean, we'll still do it anyway, won't we? We'll still be pushing out on the off chance.
We'll still be pushing. Well, we're gonna go through some of the games now. Do you want to start with one of yours first, Jim? Since I feel I've taken the floor a bit long.
I'll start with one that I just thought was. It just looked like. I just thought
there's a bit of a theme ongoing here with yours. I've had a look through the notes, and with some of mine as well.
I like the look. It just seems like a fun little game where it's called 100 Hidden Cats, and you have to go around
ninja,
the level.
As in punctuation, not colon ninja.
Colon ninja, and it's like a hand-drawn environment, all the same color palette, and the objective is to go around and find all of the ninja cats that are on the level and click on them. I just thought
like where's Wally, or where's Waldo if you're American, or where's Charlie if you're French. I can't remember what they call him in Spanish. I think it might be Wally, but he's called Charlie in France.
Charlie. But just, what again, sort of speak to that thing we were talking about before about having a game where you could just jump in for a few minutes and just play a level or whatever. This would be, I imagine this is quite a nice, relaxing, like chill game.
Yeah.
I like the art
style. Out today, by the way, if you're listening live, out today and available for under €1 for, at least in my currency, pound sterling. Do you have the? Doesn't matter. It's very cheap. It looks fun and
just a fun little thing to jump into and play. I just thought, we see a lot of games, and this was one that just stood out to me, and I just thought, it's nice. I haven't seen anybody else do anything like this. I want to give it a bit of a highlight, and it's nice that it coincides with.
They've done a few of them apparently. I'm just looking through here. You can get the bundle if ninjas aren't your thing. You've got 100 Hidden Cats Pirates, Kitty House, Playground, and Ninja. You can get all of them for a few quid.
Oh, there's 7 of them for £7.34 here in UK.
I'd say give them, it's like less than €1 for the first one, less than £1, I think, on yours. Yeah, but you could take a punt on that. It's not even the cost of a coffee, which is normally the universal currency for give us some money, isn't it? If you're on the internet asking for money, it's like it's less than the price of a cup of coffee. And like, who has money for cups of coffee? I have to brew liters of this stuff in the house because you can't go around buying coffees these days. Be skint. People paying $3 for their coffees. I'm like, who gets to go out and buy coffee? I mean, they're not even $3 in Spain. Actually, coffees are quite cheap. But it's one of those things where I was like, if I was buying like expensive coffees, better be bloody delivered by those damn Amazon delivery drivers.
Which you wouldn't get delivered. But
I mean, it's gonna be like, we haven't bothered to deliver your coffee because you weren't in. I was like, it was in the house. What are you on about? So, I'm not going to start a war with Bezos over this.
It's happening again. It's happening again.
We're getting shut down. It's like AWS services can't do your podcast or stream anymore because of some things you've been saying about Amazon delivery.
Someone's just going to burst in that room in a second. Be an Amazon delivery driver just grabs you and just takes you outside. We're like, oh, Joe's gone.
Just a big phallic rocket just lands in me street for some reason. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, because Jeff Bezos is proper hench these days, isn't he? So he probably come in and grab you himself.
Yeah. So they've done a whole thing. They're all prepping for UFC for some reason. Like that episode of Friends. Sorry, weird thing. I've just noticed that all these like billionaires, like Zuckerberg and that, are all
Yeah,
doing martial arts. But there was that episode where she was going out with the minted guy, right? Who was him
yeah.
who does all the Star Wars stuff now.
And the
What's that?
Marvel stuff.
Yeah, you know who I mean.
Uh,
That director, he's behind like the Mandalorian and a lot of the stuff.
yeah.
He's got like
Yes,
an
him.
Italian sounding name, maybe. Anyway, that guy in Friends, where he's like a cage fighter, isn't he? She sees him, he's getting like ring design done, and she thinks he's going to propose, and it turns out he's actually just doing UFC and it's getting a coach and stuff. Anyway, yeah, it feels like they've seen that episode, and Zuckerberg and Bezos and Musk are all like, let's have big fights, or let's talk about having big fights and never have them.
Yeah.
I want to
But
see
like
some
Bezos
billionaire
and
fighting.
Zuckerberg got like proper built, didn't they? Whereas Musk is just sort of, he looks like he's had too many cookies. He doesn't look like he's actually gone to the gym.
But he was talking about having a fight for a while, wasn't he? Him and Zuckerberg, and they kept saying time and place. And like, it felt like a lot of this thing was one of those people going like, hold us back, and they're not actually. No one's holding them back. Felt like neither of them really wanted to do it. I think you'd get it sorted. They seem to show up to everything else, so how can't they show up to a fight? I want to see. We're still getting shut down. We're just like, the billionaires should fight, and it should be to the death. Absolutely. Let's shift gears. About move from world domination to world domination, but through games. I've got mine here. It's called Imperial Ambitions. I saw this one, and I'm like, this could be the kind of gateway between, like, you're talking about quick games. This feels, I mean, it's probably not as quick, but I saw this in our threads, and it looks like pixel art Civ. Like,
it does, yeah.
And I was like, the second I saw this, I'm like, this could be an absolute. I mean, it's not. It doesn't have a release date yet. It's still just penciled in for coming out in 2025 at some point, but it's due to come out in this year, so it means hopefully within the next 6 months. And
they need to get that spelling of Edinburgh correct, though.
Oh, is there
missing out the H on the end? How?
Oh, do you think they're Americans and think it's spelled like? The thing is,
Edinburgh.
But Pittsburgh is actually spelled like Edinburgh with the H on the end.
Yeah, but they probably hate that. So it's like,
well, it was founded by Scots. That's the whole thing. But yeah, this looked like it could be a fun wee. Hopefully, it's like Civ Light, because Civ is one of those games that just like absolutely eats into all of your time. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah, Civ. Yeah, you do. It's like Total War for me. Like go on Civ, and then all of a sudden there's like 24 hours has passed. Like, oh, what happened there?
Well, this feels like it could be a good wee giggle, and it looks from the from the trailer and that, it looks like there's enough depth in it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Malaga was in it. Did you say that?
No, I didn't. They didn't put Newcastle in though, did they?
No.
Well, yeah, but I thought this could be one for people who like this kind of crack on, which I do, and I know you definitely do. You more so than me. It doesn't have the like live battles thing, but sometimes that was the thing that got me with Total War. I'm like, when I'm in the like macro mode, I don't want to like get down in the nitty gritty and like command the individual units. Whereas conversely, if I'm playing like Command Conquer, I don't want to be like taken away from the battlefield. You get me? Like I'm I don't like having to shift gears, which always makes me like it makes me impatient when I'm in the like this phase, when I want to be in this phase, and it's like and it forces like bad decisions out of me when I'm like when I had to go of like Total War. It was like, oh cool, I don't want to do this battle, but I don't want to auto resolve it because then I'll lose. And you're like, oh man, and I'm like, I don't want to jump in one of these battles because it's not one of these like, it's not turn based at that point, so you can't like really pause it. You're in like, you get into the flow and you're like, well, I'm gonna have to just stop playing because I don't have time to get into a battle right now, so I'm just gonna have to save and quit. And it's like, oh, I was kind of into it then. I could have probably done a few more turns on the campaign map. It's that's the thing that got me. But this feels like it's all on the map, and the battles are like
definitely more
like
Civ
chess, like Civ, yeah, which is what I like about Civ. But also sometimes when you're in the middle of a war in Civ, you're just kind of like, oh man, I want to get back to like management. I don't want to like keep having like move these units around. I want to be like managing the cities and their resources, and yeah, but obviously that occurs less so in Civ and maybe less so in this. So yeah, Imperial Ambitions is the name of the game. Go wishlist it, and hopefully it'll come out this year, and they'll correct that spelling on Edinburgh and other cities. I assume if there's an issue with Edinburgh, there might be issues with other spellings as well. Though again, it's not out yet, and there's no release date. It's in. I think there's an option to request a play test to be part of a play test. So that's something that will probably be ironed out during play testing, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
You got another one?
Yeah. Let me just get it up.
Well, excuse me.
Filthium Zero. It's like a roguelite survival thing. I like the look of it. I think we played a couple of games kind of like this, if you remember, Joe, when we went to the
Guadalindy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there is it does sort of satisfy that little itch of just on-screen chaos, just stuff going on all the time, the lighting effects, the upgrading your stuff. And
this is it's kind of like a visceral, it's like you see all the things. If they do it right, it's obviously from videos, it's not as easy to tell how the game feel is, which I kind of hate that term, but there's no better way to describe it. Is that it's just like you want to. There was the original Helldivers was a bit like this. It was more cooperative and stuff, but it was this kind of like twin stick isometric vibe. Mm-hmm. And there was I think it was called Alienation, which was a similar game, kind of halfway between what this looks like and what Helldivers was. Mm-hmm. Whereas Alienation was more about you get the end of the levels, you upgrade stuff, you get drops and loot and all this kind of crack on, and you can re-roll the stats of certain weapons. This was in Alienation, I think it was called, and that was kind of endless. I think I played the campaign of that game through multiple times, and every time it just gets a bit more difficult, and your guy just gets more and more powerful, and there's more and more baddies on screen. So hopefully it's got that kind of vibe.
It looks like it. I do like the look of it. I do think, the whole zombie apocalypse thing is a bit overdone in video games, but it does have a different aesthetic to it, this one, so it kind of freshens it up a little bit. And yeah, I don't know, just looked like it would be a good little fun, again, jump in for a half-hour session or something like that. I do find these games to be fun. I do remember there was one at that Guadalindy that I played that was very similar in its gameplay to this, in that
it was a different aesthetic. Was it not kind of like magic thing going on?
It was, yeah. But the idea that as you go through the level and beat the hordes of enemies, you level up during the level and pick which kind of character you want to build and stuff like that, and to your play style. It looks like that. So yeah, just thought that one looked like good fun, and
make lots of things explode, upgrade your guy, lather, rinse, repeat kind of crack on.
Yeah, a lot of nice on-screen visual effects. Always fun.
Nice. I've got one on theme for you now that we saw in one of our threads as well. It's not quite 100 Ninja Cats, Jim, but it's called Cat Me If You Can, which I feel, now that you've told me about, was it called 100 Hidden Cats, right?
100 Hidden Cats, Ninja version.
Well, Cat Me If You Can feels kind of similar, but in 3D. I feel it's like a similar, it's like an explorer thing. I did read the... So you've got to nip around. Did you see the derpy cat being discovered? The cat's like, oh shit, I've been rumbled. It's that kind of thing, but it's I guess it's kind of like a 3D exploration version of the 100 Hidden Cats.
Yeah.
Kind of combined with was it Pokemon Snap? I think they're in the thread. The dev said that was something they were kind of going for, having this kind of nature exploration. Go find the things and take a cool photo of them, and then obviously your reward is photos of cats. So yeah, looked fun as well. There's a cat theme for today's episode, I think, where
there is unintentional cat theme.
I mean, the
nice, like the little visual here of them walking down the street and stuff.
I like nice. The monochromatic visuals. Is always fun. Can't get over that derpy cat in the bloody castle. Amazing.
What's the dots called though? It's that's an art style, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like the old comics, like before
Yeah.
was it like pre-pop art? It's like it's off the like printing technique, isn't it?
Pop art, is that what it's called? You might be right.
I think it was. Is it proto pop art? I don't know. I didn't study art.
Yes, that
people can tell. But yeah, this one looked kind of fun as well. No release date, unfortunately, so it's one that you'll have to. Yep, add it to your wish list. See what the crack on is. Have you got another cat-based game for us, Jim?
I do have another cat-based game. I don't know why they're all cat-based games.
Just
I didn't realize they had such a strong
theme
this week. Accidentally done it. So this one's called Inky Sleep. It's not on Steam. At least I couldn't find it unless I'm being really dumb, but it's not on Steam. So I'll whack up the oh my. Get that off.
Yeah.
Good. Domino's
you're gonna have to watch it. Domino's.
Sorry. Okay, there we go.
And now we got the audio again.
Oh my god.
Sorry, audio listeners, you're just being deafened by Domino's ads. Domino's, if you do want to sponsor us, not sponsored, but actually, when we moved house, there's no local Domino's here, but I'm still on their mailing list, and I used to. I mean, again, not an ad, but I used to. I used to love Domino's when I was back in Malaga because you could get home from the pub and just I'd be walking home drunk, and I'd always just like order a Domino's back to the house and race it home because the delivery's quite quick, obviously. And you'd have to beat them before they shut at midnight. So I'd be like there at like 5 to 12, opening the app and doing like repeat last order, which was always something stupid. And sometimes I repeated orders that weren't for just me, for like when me and the lass had got some Domino's in, and then I'd be sat at like 1 a.m. drunk eating 2 people's worth of pizza.
Oh my.
Anyway, not sponsored by Domino's, but tell us about this game, Jim.
Well, it's all about you play as Inky, who goes to sleep, and instead of having his usual cat dreams, he starts having some weird cat dreams, and you've got to try and battle your way out of his subconscious or something like that. So it seems quite an interesting game. Looks kind of cool. It's cat themed, which obviously it had to be this week for some reason. And it's you've got to solve riddles and things, and it just, I don't know, looked different, kind of fun, a little bit scary, and there's a cat in it, so ticks all the boxes.
So obviously it's on itch, so you can't wish list it, but you can follow the dev and add it to your collection, which I'll do for the Indie Bandits account. Make sure that's on our itch collection, which I haven't added. Well, no, we do have about 500 games in there, and we have about like 3,000 more from bundles that we bought that we will have to get through and start playing at some point. There was all these charitable bundles, and I got in all. I think at some point I don't even know what I was supporting. I might be on some horrible blacklists somewhere for funneling money to causes, because I was like, bought loads of games for a discount. Nice. I'll get these for the Indie Bandits account. So yes, we add that. We'll throw Inky Sleep onto our collection. And
You got a final one to talk
about? I'll do a final one. Do you know what? We'll skip someone. We'll chat about them next time. But the one I want to talk about is Home: A Story of Light. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at this yet, Jim, or if you're discovering it for the first time. Oh well, get this up, and I'll let the trailer do a lot of the talking. So it's a point and click adventure.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Wait, did you spot that? I think you spotted it, right?
Yeah, the pub sign.
Oh wait, no, it gets better, pal. It's pub sign. The pub called the Geordie Lamp. Great name.
Yeah.
Love a bit of the Geordie Lamp. Never been it. Oh, is it just a point and click adventure set in the northeast of England? It bloody is. Yeah. With which you can't hear it on the obviously with the audio off for the trailer. But there are folk chatting in Geordie accents, by the way.
Oh, nice. That's what it says. Like, Grayson trusted his side. The mouse took a peek.
It's like, how do we, man? Get your bloody mouse out of here. Like, I'm trying to cook some scran. Yeah.
Mouse
yeah.
Geordie.
which I'm not going to say that like this kind of thing automatically makes a game good, but I do like it. It's always nice to have some kind of representation. I mean, we were doing it there, but I feel that our accents always get like ripped on, and this one seems actually just like it's not. Our accent isn't a joke in this. It's just actually just that's where it is.
Nice.
It's not used for comic effect. Sorry?
He called someone a doylem in it. I've not heard that
Oh,
since doylem.
Amazing, right? Yeah. So you've got you play as this lad Grayson, who's got a wee pet mouse, and you're just trying to the classic point and click, solve puzzles, unravel the story. It's I saw this and I was like, I actually clicked on it not knowing it was set in the Northeast. I just thought, I was like, this looks good, and then the second I was like, it's up in the tune. You gotta. I was like, I can't not include this. I mean, there's a good, there's a really good heritage. Would you say there's a good heritage of game development in the Northeast?
There is, yeah.
But sometimes struggling. Obviously, we've got pals who work in the industry, and going back years, when they had the original Driver game, you remember that there was a secret like demo build level that they'd made that was just around the quayside in Newcastle. There's like videos of that on YouTube if you want to go check it out. But that kind of thing is always nice, and I think everyone enjoys seeing like not themselves but their hometown and stuff like that, like representing in art, and and like when we saw that Sigellum, I'm going to pronounce that wrong again, but that game being made in Malaga, which basically has my old street in it, but I mean, in a spooky version. But yeah, it's always nice, and I'm always happy to sing the praises and support. I don't even think the studio isn't based in Newcastle. From what I could read, they're down in London. It's three mates working together. They didn't mention whether or not they were actual Geordies, but they could be. I would assume it would be an interesting choice for three devs down in London to pick Newcastle as a place, but it might be just
one of them's probably at least one of them's got to be from up north.
Either that, or reading the like synopsis. Yeah, Grayson is Joseph Swan's son, which if you're local to the Northeast like we are, Joseph Swan is the guy who famously invented the light bulb. We're not getting into this whole Edison thing. There was the light bulb was invented in many places around the world pretty much at the same time. But I think there was an Italian one at the same time. If you watch TV shows and that, especially American TV shows, they will say Edison invented it. If you grew up in the northeast of England, like we did, we were always taught that Joseph Swan invented the light bulb, and our hometown was the first place in the world to have electric street lighting. Remember that down Beaconsfield?
Yeah.
Next to the pub.
And up by in Lowfell area, that's the first house lit but fully by incandescent light as well up there.
Yeah.
And then obviously the steam train. I mean, the Northeast is pretty good for stuff that was invented for the betterment of everybody else, wasn't it?
Yep, and I think perhaps that is the reason they've picked the Northeast for this, since they've chosen the character to be the son of the inventor, and has to be around there. Now, this is going to upset a lot of people from that area, but Joseph Swan was from Sunderland, if I'm not mistaken. So, so this could open a whole can of worms. We might be just because if the people of Newcastle and Sunderland don't need another reason to fight about stuff, they're going to be like, "What? Why is Joseph Swan's son bloody like hanging around in?" I don't know why I can't do a Macam accent, I'm afraid. But I think for about 99% of the English-speaking world, it wouldn't matter because they probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
They wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
But yeah. So yeah, that's one that caught my eye, and then I was like, "Yep, I'm hooked. This is great." There was a game years and years ago that was supposedly coming out about a post-apocalyptic Newcastle. Do you remember this? I think you met some of the devs. The
concept work for it and stuff. Yeah.
It was incredible. They had this kind of like My Neighbor Totoro, like mossy golem thing following them around, didn't they? And that looked great. And it never got off the ground, did it? But it was I think it was some company based out of the Sage. It's not called the Sage anymore, that building, is it? But you know what I mean. It was not like that, but it was they have like supported projects. Anyway, there was that going on, and that never came to light. So it'd be nice to see this, no pun intended, Home: A Story of Light, released again. Another game that's got no release date fixed yet, but you can always wishlist it, and there is a demo to play on Steam. So go check out Home: A Story of Light.
No, that's a good chunk of games.
Yeah, and I think I've got spares.
There's so many. Last one though, Joe.
There's a mouse though, so
there's a mouse, but
there's an ongoing theme. If we can get one with a dog in, we've got a whole like Tom and Jerry episode.
We do.
But yeah, it's a decent selection of games, and obviously since we haven't had a lot of time to play any, these are all straight from the community. These are all games that
you've seen in our threads that we do on X. So
yeah,
we do look at them.
Yeah,
obviously.
We go through them. So if obviously if you'd like, we get so many requests for people to obviously share and talk about the games, and we got through a handful of them there, but we are getting like hundreds sent to us every day, and that's just on the threads. That's not including the DMs where people are always obviously desperately asking us to focus on their games. I do want to give a wee shout out to our Ko-fi, because people keep requesting and I keep having to say, look, we can't say yes to everyone, but we do offer shout outs and stuff like that. If you would like to send the price of a coffee our way, that's it does help us keep the lights on here, and pay for stuff. We don't maybe one day this will be our salary, but Indie Bandits is as independent as the games we celebrate. We do and fund this all ourselves, and any help pays for stuff like the website hosting, being able to do the podcasts. I mean, the audio equipment comes out of our own pockets. We can't. I mean, if everyone sent us $3 or euros or any three of any currency really would help. But if anyone would be kind enough to do that, then we could buy yet more audio equipment to complain about when it gets delivered. So,
if we had everybody just turn around and go, here's $5 for your work for the rest of the year, it'd be like, we could probably do this full time.
Well, if I don't want to do the numbers, but if the 20,000 odd followers we have on X wanted to hire a little bit our way, that would help a lot. But we don't do this for the money. What we do offer a lot of things for free, including the emailer, our newsletter that goes out once a month. That one went out a couple of days ago. If you'd like to sign up for that, there is a link both on the website indiebandits.com, and also you can find it in our pinned post on X at the minute. Has a link where you can sign up. And on that, like we do here, we share a lot of just interesting things about indie games that we find, whether these are games that we'd recommend adding to your wish list, like we've just been through here. Not necessarily the same games, though there is some overlap. We do like to include the games we talk about here in the mailing list as well. But we also include videos that we find interesting on all range of topics, like obviously on development. We like to include some of that, and on games themselves, as well as some articles around the web that we find that we think are rather interesting and worth your time. So it's it's stuff we think is interesting. There's no ads in it. It doesn't cost anything. And if you'd like to stay up to date with what we're doing and the world of indie games, sign up the emailer.
Yes, it's a nice little monthly resource, isn't it?
Yep. And I think that's maybe our lot for today.
I think it is. Yeah.
Next schedule. I've got the calendar up here. Our 23rd. Is that the 6th? 6th of June? 9th of June's Blade and Races, right? Sorry. No, just carry on the Geordie theme. Is there any cats in the Blade and Races? I feel that's 9th of June. So a few days before the Blade and Races, if you know what we're talking about, is the 6th of June. We'll do another Friday afternoon stream and
Well,
podcast,
actually,
and obviously
Joe, just may as well mention
maybe
it
not.
now. No, 6th of June definitely, but then it would have been the 20th, but I'm away, so
That's fine.
it's going to be 6th and 27th of June, I think, if we can do it that way.
6 and 27, yeah, that will work for me. Well, 6, there's definitely the next one. We'll post about it in the run up to it as well. Anyway, if you keep an eye, follow us, Indie Bants on pretty much everything. We post, we post when we're planning to go live and that, and we always, re-upload the video and then make it into a podcast so you can catch up with it and listen to it or watch it at your own leisure as well.
Yep.
Mint.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, see you then.
All right.
Waving for audio listeners. Bye-bye. I'll see you later.